The bell rang. The classroom came back to life. Chairs scraped across the floor, desks creaked, and children bustled about. Everyone moved in a hurry, everyone except me. I looked down at the back of my hand. Beneath my pale skin, faint blue veins ran like delicate threads. The classroom was noisy, yet the sounds reached me as if from underwater, distant, muffled. It felt like there was an invisible layer between the world and me. Someone brushed past my side. Our eyes didn't meet. They never did. People passed by me without ever seeing me. And I no longer tried to see them either. It had become routine. I was present in the classroom, but not really there. A child who existed, but not quite. Laughter, chatter, little jokes, they all drifted through the air, but none of it ever landed. The noise dissolved before it could reach me. As if I was tuned to a different frequency, alone in a sealed-off world. Sometimes I thought maybe I had turned invisible. But it didn't hurt anymore. It was simply cold, quietly familiar. And in that cold, I found a strange kind of comfort. No one approached me, and I never hurt anyone. I just was. I don't remember when it began. Being left alone at lunch, excluded from group projects. At first, I told myself it was a coincidence. I truly wanted to believe that. But before long, it became normal. Indifference became the only emotion I could feel from others. One day, someone walked past me and whispered, "Don't talk to him. He's weird." The words reached me, but I didn't react. That was my defense, no expression, no emotion. I believed that was the safest way. It was during a math test. The problems were easy. I finished in minutes and put my pencil down. Then I looked out the window. The trees outside swayed gently in the wind. The quiet movement beyond the classroom held more of my attention. The teacher glanced at my test, then paused.
Did you do these problems before?
I answered plainly. No. He looked at me with suspicion. Answering quickly wasn't praised, it was distrusted. I had grown used to that look. In the hallway, I overheard whispers about me. I heard he goes to some special academy. No, I heard he doesn't. He's just weird. Weird. I had heard that word so many times, it no longer stung. It had become part of the background noise of my life. In math class, in science, I always knew the answers, but I stopped raising my hand. When I spoke, people looked at me strangely. And that only pushed me further away. So I started giving the wrong answers on purpose. I turned in my papers last, even if I'd finished first. Still, I was the strange kid. Was I the strange one? Or was it the world that didn't make sense? No one ever asked me that. And I never said it out loud. I simply went through the same classroom, the same hours, every day. One day, I was called into the teacher's office. The teacher sat across from me and asked,
"Are you okay?
I gave a small nod.
How are things with your classmates?"
I nodded again, this time, slower. I already knew these weren't questions of care, but part of a routine. The teacher opened my file slowly. Inside were words scribbled in pen, introverted, lacks expression. Poor peer interaction. That was me, summed up in a few lines. The teacher looked at me and smiled. But it wasn't a smile for me. It was the smile of someone who had just checked off a box on a form.
All right, you can head back to class.
I stood up and walked out. The hallway was empty. The fluorescent lights above stretched my shadow long across the floor. It was then I realized no one wanted to understand me. They only wanted to categorize me. And so I walked back into the silence, where I belong.